This week, let's discuss deepening your connection through relationships. If you're on a journey to conception or just on this journey in life, you can benefit from some of these tips. So the first tip in the first place to consider would be your relationship with God or the universe or your creator, however you want to look at it. Have you heard the age-old saying that it happens when you stop trying? That is so true, and everything happens, I believe, on a different timeline, sometimes from our own, and it always happens for a reason, and usually it happens for a greater reason when we look back and we're like, this instance didn't happen when I wanted it to, but the time that it did happen was even better than when I had wanted it to happen. So that would be one place that you can consider deepening your relationship. And the way to do this, or the way that I find it best to do this, is through nature. So going for walks along the beach, going for a hike in the woods, sitting near a creek listening to the water, putting your toes in the sand, looking at the sunrises and sunsets, stargazing. Those are ways that you can deepen your connection. And some of the questions you can ask yourself when you're doing this are basically awakening your senses. So what do I see? What do I smell? What do I hear? What do I taste? Just things that will open up your senses and help you to better see what is going on in nature. And the next place that you're going to want to deepen your relationship is with yourself. It is so important to be connected with yourself on any journey in health, wellness, and just in general, in my opinion. So ways to do this, I love going on solo dates. So taking yourself somewhere, getting dressed up, looking nice, feeling great. This can be anywhere. You can take yourself to a coffee shop. You can go read in a library. You can go to a museum, go to the beach by yourself, go out to dinner by yourself. There's a lot of different places and things that you can do. You can awaken your creativity by taking a painting class or learning how to knit or learning new techniques. This can be also great for moms that are out there, because a lot of times I find throughout friends and different people that I've just met in the world that we sometimes lose sense of ourselves when we become moms, and we lose our identity in some ways. Our identity becomes mom, and I'm here to tell you, you are so much more than just a mom. You are a person as well, and you don't have to wait 18 plus years before you figure out who you are again. So I would suggest creating those moments in your life where you go out and do something for yourself. Whether that requires you having a babysitter for the day or handing off the little ones to your in-laws or your neighbor or your best friend or whatever it might be, it is so important to create time for yourself, especially moms. Because the biggest thing I've seen is, pouring from our cup. If our cup is already too empty because we're giving it to everybody else, we don't have overflow. And I heard it best said that living in a state of abundance is the best place to be, so that you can pour from that overflowing cup. You don't want to pour from your own cup. You want to be able to pour from that overabundance and that overflow of your cup. So think of it as like a teacup, and the saucer is what everybody else gets. They don't get what's in the cup. The last place that you're going to want to connect with, or the last person you're going to want to be able to connect with, is your partner. So I have seen it before in couples that they just lose that spark. And especially when they're working on creating a baby, they lose some parts of their relationship that, kept that spark alive, that kept, creating a baby as a sacred, as a beautiful moment, bringing life into the world. And they treat it more as a chore. Is making love more like taking out the trash? We don't want it to feel like taking out the trash. So if you're creating it more as a chore, this is something that you have to get done so you can get the outcome of baby. It's not as fun anymore for either of you. So I would suggest creating time for you and your partner to just explore a more playful side. And some of my favorite ways to do this is catering to your inner child. Go rollerblading with each other, find a trampoline park, go to a theme park, go on a road trip, doing some of the silly things that you loved to do as a kid, whether it's roller skating or some other great ones would be eating ice cream for breakfast, like the silly things that you wanted to do as a kid. You can totally do that as an adult, within reason, of course. But I think it'd be great to consider that. Because when you look at kids, especially kids that are under the age of 5, what is their stress level? It is literally 0. So thinking of that when you're trying to create a baby, if your stress is super high, are you going to be able to create a baby? More than likely not. So getting out of your head and getting more in that playful spirit will help you on that journey. One thing I would love for you to consider if you are on a journey to conception is making sure that you're creating space for a baby. Baby is not going to come into an environment that doesn't, number one, feel safe, or that is too overloaded with a busy schedule. So if you're working 50 plus hours a week, you're adding in lots of activities like workouts, high intensity type workouts, tennis lessons, pickleball lessons, hanging out with friends all the time, and you're just not having any time in your schedule, then I would consider you're probably not going to have time in your schedule for a baby. Just throwing that out there. So look at your schedule, reevaluate, see, do I have time to take a child to daycare? Do I have a time to homeschool a child? Do I have time to take them to sporting events, their sports games, or practice, or extra activities like art classes? Do I have time for any of these things? Because if the answer is no, then very likely you're not even creating space to invite a baby into this universe for you. So take some of that time to reflect, maybe journal on some of these things, take time to create moments with your partner where you're just hanging out, chilling, relaxing, and plan that into your schedule as well. So these are just some of my thoughts and tips for you this week on deepening your connections with God, your creator, yourself, and your partner to create a place for baby to be invited into this world if that is your end goal. And or if you just want to help out your overall health and wellness. Follow along for more tips on pregnancy, preconception, and overall health and wellness. Have a good week. Bye.